Hello. In this opportunity session, I get to show you Curriculet. This is a new thing that was introduced to me by another integration specialist, and I am super excited about it. I think that this is a really great program, and we can use it to a certain degree for free, which is always great. So I'm excited to show you this source of ebooks in both fiction and nonfiction that goes so far beyond just delivering the text of the book you want the students to read. It's going to allow you to embed within that text annotations, whether they're text explanations or definitions or videos that you want to include or images to help the students understand what they're reading. And you can also embed within it checks for understanding, whether it's a single question or a full-length quiz, whether it's multiple choice or an open-ended question. So again, these are the kind of tools that we look for, where we're not just substituting the old with the new, but we're taking it to a new level and really benefiting in ways that we could never do before. So I'm excited about that. So let's get started. Let me show you Curriculet. So I'm going to begin. You can click this button right here if you go to curriculet.com. You'll click this button to join for free. I've already done that, so let me go to my account. Okay, so when you first log in, it's going to take you directly to your library, and you can just see here a few titles that I have found and added to my library already as I've been exploring and learning this resource. By the way, these were all free titles, so I just wanted to point that out because I know that like Bridge to Terabithia is a one that we use in our 6th grade, at least at Montezuma, and these are all classics that I know I read when I was in school. So I just wanted to point out that those are among the many free resources that they have. But the very first thing you'll want to do to get started with Curriculet is to go in and set up your classes, which is super easy, and I'll just walk you through that real quick. So I'm going to come over here to where I see my name and the little gears, and right at the top of that list is Class Manager. Okay, so you can see that I've already set up 3 classes just in my playing around, but if I click on this button to add a new class or group, I can give this a name like morning reading maybe, and I can click create. Okay, so once you do that, that's really all there is to setting up your class. The next step would be being able to get your students connected to that class. So once you click on, you put in that title, it's going to give you here an enrollment token. And this is what you're going to need to share with the students. Now, it tells you can also give them this enrollment URL that is supposed to take them directly there, but honestly, when I tried it, it still made me enter this token number. So what I would probably do is just give this to your students, this 4-digit token, and have them go to curriculet.com and sign up just like you did. They'll select that they're signing up as a student, and in that sign up process, it's going to ask them for this enrollment token. So I'm going to copy that to the clipboard, and we're going to use that later on when I walk you through getting the students connected. Okay, but otherwise the class has been established, there just aren't any students in this class yet. Okay, so now let's go look for something that we're going to assign to this class. So I'm going to go to the store. Now remember, the library, this is your library. This is things that you have already found and you've added to your own collection because you want to use them at some point. To find new ones, I go to the store. Okay, so here in the store, you can see that they've got some featured titles that just come up right up on the front screen, and you'll see underneath each one the cost. So you'll see several of these are listed as free, but some of them do have a rental fee associated with it. So The Alchemist here is 99 cents for 3 months. Now that is per student and per teacher. So it would add up in a hurry, and you're going to be limited to 3 months time to be able to use that. So if you find a title that you do want to purchase, You're going to need to plan accordingly so that you can make sure that you can use it in that time frame. And you'll need to speak with your principal or use your classroom fees if you have those. I know that at least at the high school there's usually a small account for consumables that each teacher has. So talk to your principal about what money might be available for you to use if you're wanting to get started with this year. Of course, there's always the option of having the students all bring in $1 or paying out of pocket yourself. Those kind of things are always an option, but if you want to check on availability of funds, make sure you do talk to your principal about that. I'm going to look through the free titles. We do have all these categories over here that we can browse through, different genres and really wonderful classifications that we can kind of narrow our search down. Or you can also type, if you're looking for a specific title, you can type that in the search box up here. Down towards the bottom here, they do have grade categories as well. So if you're looking for something for your certain grade level. I'm just going to click into free titles because I want to make sure that I am looking for something that is free. So let me find something quickly that I want to use just as a sample. Let's do Uncle Tom's Cabin. So I'm just going to click on it, and that's going to give us more information. Okay, so here again it's showing that it is free. Here's my button to add it to my library. Down here are the actual what they call curriculets. So this curriculet that has been created has 171 questions embedded within the text. It has 130 annotations. Those can be anything from videos to text explanations. And then there are 45 quizzes as well. So fairly extensive, I would say. It is being linked to this Common Core standard also. Okay, so if I decide that I can click this button if I want to preview it and take a closer look. So let's just do that real quick. So this is going to show you what it actually looks like. We're finally getting to see that. Give it a second to load here. Okay, so here's our ebook that we see, and we see our page navigations down here at the bottom. If I click up here on this curriculet, it gives me the option to go to a table of contents or to various checkpoints. And there's a teacher's guide too that would be very helpful as you're getting to learn how to use this. So I'm just going to navigate through my pages until I find, that was all the introduction. Okay, so right here on chapter 1, very first page of chapter 1, I have an annotation right here. So students, when they see these little icons, they will just click on them. And so it's giving me some information. This is something that somebody else has already written in that may benefit your students. If you don't like it, you will have the option to edit that or to remove it completely. You also notice that when I clicked on that annotation, it highlighted the text that it's actually referring to. Let me show you a couple more examples. Let's click through. Okay, here's another annotation. This time it's going to have a video embedded. So you can add the text, you can add this video, and that may be something that can help students understand something that they're reading that maybe they don't have a good frame of reference to. Again, this can be edited. You can add your own. If you've got a YouTube video that you think is particularly helpful, you can include that. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea. Let's keep going until we get to a quiz. Here we go. Here's a question. So this is just kind of a check for understanding a single question as we're reading through here in a multiple choice. This could also be an open-ended question where they type in their response and you manually grade those later. Okay, so that kind of gives you a preview. So let's say you've previewed this and you like it and you decide you want to add it to your library. So we'll just click that little button. It takes just a minute for it to come in. See right here it tells me that it's being added to my library. I did notice once that it seemed like I could wait forever, but if I hit refresh, here it is, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Okay, now if I go to it from there, now that it's in my library, I have the option to either edit the curriculet, which is going to give me a chance to change any of those little things that I want to change, or I can assign it to my class. So first let's show you how to assign it to your class. So I'll click on that button. Right now it's not been assigned to anyone. I can click Add Assignments, and it's going to give me the option to choose which class I want to add it to. I can click Morning Reading and save. If I want to add it to multiple classes, there isn't a shortcut to add it to all of them at once, but it's pretty simple. Oops. It's pretty simple here to click through and add these to any groups. And so now it's showing me that it's been added to 2 classes. Okay? If I want to edit the Curriculet, I'm going to click on that, and it's going to give me a little warning because it's already been assigned to a class, so it's telling me that any changes I made will be visible to the students. So now let's click through and get to that annotation. There we go. This annotation that was already in here. Let's say that I'm just not a fan of this one and I want to get rid of it altogether. I can click on Edit Annotation. Here I could change something in it if I wanted to change something, or I can remove it altogether. And then that annotation is not part of what my students would see. To add something new in, all you have to do, it took me just a minute to figure this out because it said to click and drag, and so I was kind of trying to do the classic click and drag thing and nothing was happening, but finally I got on to the fact that you just click and hold it and click right on a word and hold it, and it gives you that blue circle that pops up, and then it turns blue, and then I can drag if I want to add an annotation, a quiz, or a single question to this particular text. So I can do that with a single word, I could do it with a whole sentence, I could do it with a whole paragraph. Okay? So if I want to annotate, I just click on Annotate then when that menu pops up. Here's where I can type in my text. It also lets you know that you can add links to videos, images, or other content. So let's say I did have a YouTube video that I wanted to associate with this. I would simply go to YouTube and grab the URL. When I'm on my YouTube video page, I would just copy this address to my YouTube video. I can right click and copy, and then that's what I would paste into this box. I can put text in there as well, so maybe I could put some explanation of why I want them to watch this and then paste that URL in, and then my final results would be to show, let me just find a YouTube video so I can really show this to you. Obviously you're not going to want to create oops, sorry. I'm just grabbing one of my very favorite YouTube videos just for fun. Okay, so here it does whatever YouTube video you want to use. You just come up and copy this to your clipboard, and then, oops, when I'm back here I can type whatever text I want here and then paste that URL, and it's bringing in that video and embedding it right here, and then I can click Save. So what that is doing is embedding my text and my video together right here. So super easy. So here's another question that was in there. If I want to edit it again, I can click that and I can change anything I want to change. So pretty simple. Let me go back. Oops. How do I go back? Oh, here we go. Let me click Done. Okay, so I have edited that as well. Let me go back to the store and let's click on another title. Just do A Tale of Two Cities here because I just want to show you one additional thing. From here, there is a Curriculet already created, and I think most of us are probably going to want to use what somebody else has already done a lot of work towards, maybe tweak it a little ourselves. But if you ever want to start completely from scratch, just go ahead and add it to your library. Just taking just a minute here. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my library. Here's A Tale of Two Cities. Okay, and we can create a Curriculet. Here's the button I was looking for. We can create a new Curriculet from scratch. So if you click on this, you're going to get just the ebook text with none of those questions or annotations added in, and then you can add in just what you want to add in, exactly in the manner I showed you previously. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and I want to show you what we need to do with getting your students involved. So I'm back here on my class manager. You remember that here there's this enrollment token, and we can copy that to our clipboard. I'm going to do that for my purposes here, but you might need to just write this on the board, or you could paste it into an announcement on My Big Campus, however you are directing your students to go sign up for their Curriculet account. Okay. Now I'm going to log out of this teacher account, and I'm going to have my students go to curriculet.com and click sign up. They're going to say that they are a student, and they are going to fill in this information. So Sally Sample. Now you notice that it is requiring an email address, which gets a little sticky sometimes with students. However, we do now have student email through our Gmail conversion that we did recently. We haven't pushed that out and actually made it accessible to students, but technically they have an address. So you can have them put in their username, last name, first initial, and then at swpark.k12.in.us, just like your email address. They would set their own password, and then they need to paste that enrollment token or type that enrollment token into that. Now it says optional. They can create an account without that, but this is what's going to associate them with your class. So that's an important piece. And then they'll click sign up. Okay, so it says right here, you've been enrolled in Rachel Porter's 4-period morning reading. And it shows that I've been assigned Uncle Tom's Cabin because earlier we assigned that text to morning reading class. It also gives you information here as a student. It'll show how many hours and minutes they've spent reading and how many correct answers they have submitted through quizzes or through those check for understanding single questions embedded within the text. So as a student, if I click on Uncle Tom's Cabin, it's going to take me into the text. It's going to look just like it did before. It's letting them know how to navigate the first time they go in. You might want to have students, when they go through that little instruction stuff to begin with, you might want to have them check this box to not show that content again. Otherwise that could get pretty annoying. Okay, so then the students can start reading and they can come to those annotations. I'm going to get to a question here, and I'm just going to randomly pick an answer. So you can see that it'll show you, I got it right, randomly, cool. It'll show you that that they got it correct. If it's incorrect, it does mark it as wrong, and it shows what the correct answer is for the students. There's no second chance to answer or anything like that. Okay, so just wanted to kind of give you an idea right there. So it shakes, it tells me that I'm wrong, but it's not giving me another chance to answer it. And it turned my little icon red there as well. I just want to answer a couple of these for you because we're going to go back to the teacher account here in just a minute. See, really good little ways to add these annotations in for your students. And of course you can keep working on this year after year, building it up with misconceptions that the students have and those kind of things. Okay, so I'm just clicking through. I want to get, okay, so at the end of the chapter, they've got a quiz. So I'm just going to, again, I'm not even reading these, obviously, just like some of your students, unfortunately, will do. But I just want to go through and answer those questions so that we can go back to the teacher account and see what that looks like once students have completed some of the work. Okay, so I'm going to log out of this student account. I'm going to log back in as the teacher. Okay, if I go to the assignments section here, I can go to that morning reading class. They've been assigned one text, and so you can see here that my class has completed chapter 1 at 100% because there's only one student in my class right now. If I had 20 students in and one student had completed it, obviously this would not show at 100%. But I can click into that. It's preparing my report. Okay, so here I have my student that's enrolled. I can see the quiz grade. I can see how they did on the questions within the text. I can see how much time they spent. Really wonderful information right there. Now I don't think, let's see here. Okay, yes, I can see exactly what my student answered as well. If I click into that, I can drill in and see what wrong answers my students were putting as well. Okay, so there's an overview of Curriculet. I think it's really exciting, and I hope we have some teachers who are going to try using this. As you do get started with the program, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me a quick email. I will either, if it's something simple I can answer by email, we'll do that. Otherwise, I will find a time when I can come and work with you, and we can do things together. If you would like some support, if you're starting to use this with your students, and you're kind of nervous maybe about that first day of trying to get everybody's accounts created and walking them through that. If it's helpful for me to be there and to kind of help with that process and answer questions and troubleshoot if there's any issues, just let me know. That's the kind of stuff I really love to do, and I'd be happy to find a time when I can come and support you as you start using this with your students. Thank you for your time and attention. Let me know if you have any questions.